Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome in if this is your first time being here. My name is Melissa. My channel is called Empowered Gems Tarot, and in today's reading, we're going to be looking into what's next in love, specifically looking into the upcoming month of November. So this will be like a forecast for your love life as we head into the month of November. We'll take a look at energies, events, situations, people of significance that may be headed your way this month. Remember, this is a general collective reading on YouTube, so messages will vary with how specifically and accurately they will resonate with your own unique situation. As a best practice, if anything that I say feels confusing or doesn't feel like it really fits your situation as you know it to be, take it as a sign that it's not your message today. Release it, let it go, and understand that the messages may be for somebody else out there in the collective who chose the same reading as you. If you guys did want to book a personal reading, the link to my website is in the description box down below. Personal readings can be a better way to get a more accurate read on your own energy if these general collective readings on YouTube just aren't resonating as much for you. All right, but with that being said, we will now go ahead and get into selecting your reading today. So if you're drawn to reading number 1, we're going to be working with this pink Himalayan salt crystal. If you're drawn to reading number 2, we're going to be working with this citrine crystal. And if you're drawn to reading number 3, we will be working with this malachite. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about the upcoming month ahead in love and what you need to know most. Go ahead and select the crystal or card that you feel the most intuitively connected to. Once you've made your choice, you can scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. See you there. Hey group 1, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the pink Himalayan salts, this is going to be your love reading for the upcoming month of November. So we'll take a look at what is up next for you in love as we navigate this upcoming month ahead. Let's go ahead and jump in. And we're going to start with these. So we have retreat. We have reconciliation. We have patience. And finances. Okay. So I feel for some of my group 1 viewers, there's a couple messages that I'm getting, and it kind of depends on your relationship status. Remember, this is a general reading, so it can resonate in different ways for different people. For some of you, I feel like there might be, like at the start of the month of November, sort of a pulling back. This says it's time to disconnect from the world, like a pulling back from a person, a pulling back from a partnership, pulling back from love, and maybe just giving something a little bit of breathing room here. Exercising patience, understanding that maybe now is not the time for a lot of direct action, right? It's more of a time of observation. It's more of a time of passivity and not forcing things. For others of you, this could literally have to do with a partnership retreat, right? Like maybe if you're in a romantic relationship or connecting with someone, this is about you and your person coming back together and spending some quality one-on-one time alone. We'll take a look as we get more into this reading at what more specific messages come through. But basically, like the theme that I'm getting is like starting off this month, it's more about pulling back and disconnection than it is about pushing something forward. Now, as you guys navigate the month of November, we have reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. And then we have finances. Financial challenges are affecting this connection. So for those of you that are in a romantic relationship or you have like some sort of a connection with someone ongoing, this person could be coming back into your life, and it could be connected to financial matters, right? Like bills or joint finances, or maybe somebody having a financial challenge is bringing the two of you back together. Maybe for some of you, this has to do with reconciling with someone from a work perspective too. Like this can come up when we have some sort of a connection to career coming up. So let's go ahead and see. Those are just kind of the initial energies. Let's get into the tarot next to see what else we get. And actually, I think I am going to actually take reversals today. I don't always do that in these readings, but for some reason I do feel guided for that right now. So I'm going to honor that just so we can get a little more nuance here. So So tell us more, Spirit, about what is next in love in the month of November for group 1. So we have the 9 of Arrows, which is the 9 of Swords. Okay. Those are a few too many. Okay. We have the 5 of Cups. And then we have the 4 of Cups. Very interesting. And then we have the 2 of Wands here at the bottom of the deck. So it definitely feels, you guys, like when it comes to love and whoever this reconciliation energy is connected to, with the 2 of Wands at the bottom of the deck, it's like there is this undertone of potential expansion with this person, but there's also an undertone of indecision here because the 2 of Wands, and maybe this is connected to a friend of yours. 3 of Cups can talk of friendships. It can talk of more casual relationships or more surface level relationships. It can also talk about groups, right? So maybe this is somebody you know through a common group. But the 2 of Wands being here tells me that you're kind of at a crossroads when it comes to this connection, right? Like, sure, there is the potential for you to expand and explore more, but there's kind of also the option of expanding elsewhere too that I get from this. It's sort of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, really assessing all of the options that are ahead of us versus just this one option with this person with reconciliation, okay? So it's a little indecisive, and it kind of tracks with what I'm seeing with retreat and patience, where there's not really a lot of forward movement here, okay? So starting off the month, I see a little bit of anxiety and overthinking here. And I feel like this could very well be connected to this retreat energy, where it's like, okay, we're pulling back our energy, we're disconnecting from something. The 9 of Swords can sometimes talk about when we're anxious or ruminating over it. Maybe this is something that you guys think a lot about. It takes up a lot of your mental space. Maybe you guys are kind of kept up at night thinking about it, but there's a lot of rumination and a lot of mental energy that's being expended on this situation. And I feel like the retreat energy, it sort of might amplify that for you, especially if you find yourself being anxious in relationships just in general when space is initiated. But the other piece of it is, I think the space is actually going to help you feel less anxious over time, right? Disconnecting from it may actually allow you guys to calm your nervous system a little bit more, even if with this 5 of Cups, as I see, there is some sort of sadness, disappointment, loss, or grief connected to this. So the 5 of Cups does talk of all those themes, right? So sort of mid-November, you guys might not be feeling the best about this situation, right? There's definitely like a grieving here, like grieving a loss or grieving what, like a past version of this could have been, or grieving what you hoped that this connection could have been. But I do sort of get this energy of acceptance through this as well. I don't know why I'm getting that. It's sort of just this vibe of like, well, this sucks, I'm disappointed, but I have to keep moving forward. And it's interesting because when this reconciliation energy comes about toward the ending of the month, I actually feel like you guys are pretty shut off to it with this 4 of Cups. Like you might be feeling a little bit apathetic by that point. And maybe it's just one of those things where you've been grieving this loss or just been feeling so anxious and disappointed and not fulfilled in this situation that when the reconciliation does come up, it's sort of like, I don't really care about that anymore. Like you're numb to it now. You're no longer seeing it as a viable option, right? And I think especially if the reconciliation is connected to something financial or work related, it might feel like it's not coming in the format that you want, right? So for some of you that are hoping for more of like a love reconciliation, it may not come in that form. It might actually be coming through as connected to something more tangible or material here, okay? So let's keep going. We're going to come to these ones next. So what else, Spirit, can you tell us, please, about love for group number 1 this month? I don't know why, but I also feel guided to say this, you guys, because I feel like sometimes I get snarky comments on these videos where people are mad because these readings are tapping into these types of energies that aren't always rainbows and sunshine. And I literally, you guys see me shuffling. Like I can't control the message that comes through, right? So just know that if this doesn't feel like a situation that's for you, it's just not your reading today. there's a whole collective of people that watch these, right? And it's not going to be specific to everyone's energy. All right, so let's see. What else can you tell us, Spirit, about the month of November in love for group 1? What else do they need to know? Okay, a bit too many. Okay, so we do have fertility. This says blessings and pregnancy. What else? We also have introverted. This says holding back, not saying much, and closed off. Okay, interesting. And then we have rejection. And then we also have boundaries. This is so interesting with divine masculine at the bottom of the deck. I feel like that energy is like connected to whoever is the divine masculine in this situation. All right, so here's the thing, guys. There's definitely something about this theme of fertility and pregnancy creation that is the source of rumination. So maybe for some of you that are viewing pile 1, this could be a situation where you're pregnant with this person's child or there's children involved. Now, that doesn't have to be taken so literally, right? It can also just talk about fertility, talks of creation, something that you've created together. It talks about blessings as well. And so maybe there's just something about the abundance connected to this connection that is causing you stress and anxiety, right? This to me is also giving the energy of incubation, a waiting period, which ties in with this energy of patience. So whether this has to do with like a literal pregnancy or not, there's something incubating here that needs time. And it needs time through disconnection, I feel, to fully like flesh itself out. Or at least that's kind of how you're operating moving into the month of November. And again, it's like mid-month, I do see you guys kind of being in a more closed off space really throughout the entire month. I feel you guys are pretty closed off to this person, to this situation, you know, introverted energy. It talks about holding back, right? So you're processing grief, you're processing disappointment, and you're not necessarily outwardly expressing that. But like it feels like I'm looking at this very Zen energy of the divine masculine. It feels very contained, right? It doesn't feel like there's a need or a desire for you to want to express it. You're just kind of privately processing through things. And toward the end of the month is where I feel like things are getting interesting, right? Because we have this 4 of Cups with rejection and boundaries. So I think that this connection is coming back. It's resurfacing toward the end of the month of November. And I think that whatever is being offered to you, you're not interested. The 4 of Cups is kind of like that rejection energy where you're like not even really seeing it as a viable option. It's not something that you're interested in doing or moving forward with, right? So you're probably going to say no or not be interested or not really see it as a viable option. And then we have it clarified by boundaries, which talks about self-discipline, speaking up, stop. So there could be some sort of a conversation here or some sort of expression from you to say like, no, and this is why. And it could be connected to a masculine energy coming back around. But I also feel like the divine masculine talks about boundaries and structure and order, right? Containment, taking care of something. And we have this feminine energy here at the beginning. So this could even be you guys kind of embodying this divine masculine energy through setting boundaries and saying no to something. Okay. Not that the divine feminine can't say no, but I guess it's just the vibe is giving me more like structure. Like you want structure. And if that's not what's being offered here, you're going to create it for yourself, right? Like even looking at this, it looks like a fence, like a force field around you where you're saying, no, I don't want this. And here's why. So super interesting. So let's see group 1. We'll take a look at these cards just to close us out. So what else, Spirit, can you tell us about love this month for group 1? Also, I know November, we're going to have Mercury retrograde pretty much the entire month. So the reconciliation, maybe a resurfacing of someone from the past makes a lot of sense. I think it also makes sense why we're seeing a lot of this more leaned back sort of introspective energy, right? Because retrogrades are a time where we're not necessarily communicating a lot. We're going within, maybe to avoid misunderstandings and to reevaluate how we're approaching something. Let's see. We have soul contract. Contracts signed to work together. Very interesting. So you and this person may have some spiritual work that you're moving through, right? And I feel like I don't know why I feel like you guys are going to be annoyed when I say when I say that, because it definitely feels like this is a situation that's not really giving you a lot, right? It doesn't feel like the most aligned, nurturing sort of energy for you. But I do think that spirit is guiding you to see like the deeper meaning, the deeper purpose behind this experience. You and this person, if you believe in this, you may have like a past life connection with them, right? Where you are working through karma or you're teaching each other. You had some sort of soul agreement to help each other learn. And so I think for you guys, what you're learning is more about like this energy of not chasing, like you're just leaning back, letting things happen, learning maybe how to self-soothe your own stress and anxiety in the moment around separation and distance and maybe not knowing all the answers. But then there's also like a very powerful lesson here of boundaries. And I just think like whatever has happened here has really disappointed you guys so much that by the time it resurfaces toward the end of November, you're genuinely not into it with the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is the I'm just not that into you energy, or this isn't what I want energy. We have dreaming, dreams, fantasies, and high hopes. Yeah, it's like I think that there's been in this situation maybe like a lot of projection, right? Maybe there's been a lot of fantasizing, a lot of projection, a lot of hope that something would be more than what it's actually been. And I really think that toward the middle of November, you guys are going to come to this realization where it's like, no, it's disappointing, but it's realizing that what you had hoped for may have been a bit too idealistic when it came to this connection or this person, okay? I would pay attention to any dreams you're having about them as well, because those might be informing some of the insights that you can gain. We do also have the energy of rewriting the love story, redefining the relationship. So that is kind of where we're leaving things at the end of the month. And it's interesting too, because by the end of November, Mercury will be coming out of retrograde. And this is where we have you saying no to something or setting boundaries or rejecting some form of an offer. And so communication resurfaces at the end of the month. Maybe you guys are writing them something literally, and that's the way you're communicating. But this talks about a change in the way that you define this connection, a change in the way you operate within the structure, right, of this connection. I feel like this divine masculine has a lot of regrets for the way they treated you. And look at this. They're missing you. That's what's driving them, is like nostalgia or like wanting to connect to your energy again. We have hot mess, chaotic energy, and reflection needed. And I feel like that's been the issue here for a lot of you guys. You guys want structure. I keep getting like pile one needs and wants structure from this person. And I just heard operational efficiency. I don't know. Some of you guys, I think, like work with this person or there's like a connect there, but you want things to feel more stable, and it's just not getting there. And so I think what you're doing is you're just choosing to show up differently toward the end of the month when it comes to this connection. You're redefining how you operate within it to create that structure that you need. Okay. This is so intriguing, group one. I just feel called to pull one more tarot card for you for advice. So let's do that to see what advice Spirit wants to leave you with. And then we'll move on, and that'll be the end of the reading. Okay, so what advice, Spirit, do we have for group one as it pertains to this connection? The Seven of Cups. So this kind of connects to this energy of daydreaming and fantasies. And then we have the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck, which talks about tradition, structure, commitment. I think when it comes to this person, you guys definitely have like look how he's kissing her here. Like, I think you guys definitely have like a different experience in your fantasies with this person, or you had higher hopes for what they could be versus how they actually show up with you. And it's possible, right? Like spiritually in your dreams that you are experiencing them differently, right? That could be a part of the soul contract as well, which is like accepting what's in front of us in reality versus what the dream or spirit version of them looks like. But yeah, this really talks about sometimes lacking that clarity, right? Because we're kind of in the clouds, or we're confused, or we're letting idealism or options and like sort of keep us confused, if that makes sense. So I think this is something Spirit is guiding you to sort of watch out for, to make sure that you're not allowing projection, dreams, fantasy to sort of cloud your judgment as it pertains to how you operate in reality with this person. With the Hierophant here at the bottom of the deck, this does talk about structure, tradition, commitments. You might be better served here, especially with the boundaries here coming up. You guys might be better served by kind of embodying the structure yourself that you wish to receive. Or like if you know this person within a certain context, like within work, for instance, because I do feel that energy with finances here, sort of like operating within the traditional structure of the work environment as you deal with them and not accepting like stuff outside of that. Like if they want emotional access to you or whatever, it's like, no, this is a professional environment, or no, this is a spiritual environment that I'm in with you, or respecting that. Or maybe there is some sort of a committed, like a mentor-mentee relationship you have with them, respecting those boundaries instead of allowing the fantasy and the dreams to cloud your judgment and your boundaries. Hopefully that makes sense what I'm saying. It's sort of just saying like stick to clarity, stick to structure, stick to tradition, operate with professionalism and respect, and make sure that that's the boundary that you're setting when it comes to this person, okay? So this is what I see, Group 1. Comment below. Let me know a little bit about your love life, and I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye. Hey, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Citrine crystal, this is going to be your message. So today we're going to be looking into what is next in love as we move into the month of November. So let us begin by looking into the overall energies for you. So we've got getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. We have past life relationship. You've known each other before. We have play hard. Find time to laugh, goof off, and enjoy each other. We have abundance. You've done the work. Abundance flows to you now. This is very chipper, very optimistic, Group 2. And it makes sense, right? The citrine that you guys chose is said to draw in really positive, optimistic energy as well as abundance. And you've got abundance literally coming up here. So yeah, I think at the beginning of the month, I see you, Group 2, kind of focusing on having fun, right? There's a very fun, playful energy. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be out socializing or spending time with friends. We have this energy of getting to know each other as well. So I feel like some of you, I'm seeing a friendship group or like group activities here. You guys might be meeting someone or getting to know someone romantically that you have a romantic interest in, rather, on a deeper level through these sort of casual, playful, fun interactions in groups of people. Maybe you guys are friends. Maybe there's like a curiosity there for more for some of you guys. If it's not necessarily connected to groups, I think it's just more of this playful, fun energy of getting to know someone one-on-one, and strengthening those bonds. We also have past life relationship and abundance here as well. So this is beautiful because, again, Spirit is saying, especially toward the end of the month, I think you guys are feeling really full, really accomplished. You have learned your lessons, maybe. I'm hearing. We also, with past life relationship, I think this person of significance that's showing up for you, this is someone that you might feel a really deep knowing or resonance with. Like maybe they feel familiar to you in some way. It could be maybe for some of you that you've literally known them from the past. For others of you, if this is like a newer person to your circle, it could be that you have a past life connection to them where it's like, oh, you feel familiar. Like I recognize you, or our souls recognize each other. Right? But it feels like it's very positive with abundance being here. So let's see. Let's keep going, Group 2. What else, Spirit, can you tell us about what's next in love for group number 2 in November? All right, we've got the Princess of Arrows. This is the Page of Swords. Okay. We also have the Prince of Arrows, which is the Knight of Swords. So lots of air energy coming through. Communication will be significant in this connection. And then we also have the Emperor. Ooh, Arthur and Guinevere. Power couple vibes with the King of Stave, which is the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So this could be your energy. It could be their energy. King of Wands is going to be like a masculine fire. So Leo, Sag, Aries. We have Aries energy here with the Emperor. So this is definitely showing like an undertone of someone very masculine. King of Wands is definitely somebody who is charismatic, charming. He's kind of a go-getter. But this King of Wands looks a little more mature to me. And it makes sense with the Emperor too, because an Emperor is typically going to be a more mature embodiment of masculinity. But look at him. He kind of has salt and pepper in his hair. So there could be like something about this person's age or lived experience that makes them a bit more wise. I feel like they've been through a lot of stuff. So even though they have that charm and that charisma and they're fun and flirty, this seems like a bit more grounded for a King of Wands than what we would typically see. So I kind of love that for you, group 2. So let's talk about it. I wouldn't be surprised for a lot of you guys if communication with this person starts either like online, like on like Instagram, social media, or like a dating app with the Princess of Arrows, because the Page of Swords, which is the Princess of Arrows here, this is more about like that subtle sort of beginning stages of talking and communicating with someone, text messages, Instagram DMs. Sometimes it can be like a little bit of a lurker energy too. So maybe it takes a minute for this to heat up. But with play hard and getting to know each other, it feels like you're communicating with this person either online or via text, the internet, something like that initially. And then it's going to progress to this Prince of Arrows, which is the Knight of Swords. So we go from the Page to the Knight, and this is where we're going to have more fully embodied communication. Now, what's interesting here is we have Cupid, right? And this is the swords energy. So swords aren't necessarily like heart-centered. They are mental, right? It's like the way we think and the way we communicate. But with Cupid being here, it just kind of makes me feel like the romantic interest is sort of deepening or igniting more through conversation toward the middle of the month of November. So it's like you guys start more subtle communication and then things sort of progress toward the middle of the month into more like face-to-face talking, more substantive conversation. And through this conversation and getting to know each other, that you're getting that Cupid energy. You're struck by Cupid's arrow, if you will. Toward the end of the month is interesting because we have the Emperor here. So the Emperor is masculine energy, divine masculine energy. It's very structured, it's orderly, it's contained. An Emperor that's like in their true sort of light embodiment is not going to be controlling, but they're going to be protective, right? They're going to have good boundaries. They're going to be someone that you can really lean on to take care of their feminine or to take care of their responsibilities. And it's just really interesting that we have the Arthur and Guinevere imagery here. This is showing me like power couple vibes. So I feel like you and this person toward the end of the month are going to be in that space together. Where you're both side by side, like embodying structure and accountability in some regard. So let's keep going. I think I'm hesitating a little bit because sometimes the Emperor can be a little cold. And you guys have a lot of swords here, so I just want to see how this plays out a little bit more clearly. There's lots of chatter, I see, and fun times and lighthearted energy, but I'm just not seeing a ton of heart-centered stuff just yet. So let's just see what else Spirit wants to tell us. So what else, Spirit, for group 2? We have a retreat, getaway, travel, and new experiences. Cool. So maybe you guys meet this person through travel or they live long distance from you. It definitely feels like there's something connected to fun or, you know, getting out of your day-to-day that allows you to connect with this person. Okay, and then we do have unawakened, ruled by the ego coming through. And let's see. Ooh, okay, now hold on now. Way too many flying out here. Help me understand this Emperor, please, Spirit, for group 2. We have leaving, moving forward, leaving behind what doesn't serve you. But then we do have under construction very soon as well. And then we have commitment under that. Okay. So it definitely feels like the beginning to the middle of the month. It's very playful. And I do feel like you and this person are going to leave on the same page at the ending of the month with this emperor, because there is like this imagery of the two of you kind of being side by side in your own independent authority, but like in authority as a group, like as a couple as well. But there is sort of an ego-based energy that's surfacing here mid-month. So it's just something that I think you guys should watch for. Like, to me, with this smoky, cloudy energy, I feel like not all may be fully clear to either of you, or maybe there is attraction here, and the two of you aren't really fully sure about what it is or why it is that you're drawn to each other. Sometimes too, when we have like ruled by the ego, people can be motivated by egocentric type of measures, right? Like status or authority or power or things like that are kind of drawing each other together. Physical appearance, right? Things like that. So I think it's just something to watch for. The good news is I do think between you and this person, there's a lot of conversation that's happening. And so if you're asking the right questions and being a cautious skeptic, like the Page of Swords is, I do think that you're going to be able to see that in this person. You just want to watch for it in yourself as well. Okay. Now it's interesting because at the end of the month with this emperor and this leaving, this talks about moving forward and leaving behind what doesn't serve you with the travel imagery. So I just kind of wonder if you and this person live long distance or you meet them during travel. And it's like, maybe you guys talk about like, we'll see each other again soon. Maybe there's some sort of a soft commitment here or an agreement around like the page that you're leaving this situation on. But it definitely feels like there's some sort of a departure or travel or flight energy toward the end of the month, and you and this person are leaving it very much on the same page with how you're going to move forward. Now, what's really beautiful though about this is abundance is here, which means that like you guys, like I kind of get this vibe that no matter how you're leaving the situation, you're feeling good about it, right? Like you're solid in it. The Emperor is a very structured, it's a very structured, empowered energy. So I don't necessarily feel like a lot of attachment to a specific outcome here, if that makes sense. I think you and this person will be on the same page no matter what you choose. Okay, so let's do a couple of these for group 2 as well. What else can you tell us, Spirit, about this month in love for group 2? So we do have denial, avoiding the truth. So that's interesting. There's someone that's burying their head in the sand here. So maybe some of you guys kind of know here on a deeper level, there's something about this situation or something about this connection that isn't fully what you're looking for, but there seems to be just like this energy of, I just want to have fun. Like, I just want to have fun. I just want to enjoy myself. Maybe you guys are traveling and you unexpectedly meet someone, or you're traveling with a friend that's in this group of people, right? Like, and you kind of know like, maybe this isn't fully what I want, but I'm just going to enjoy myself. Yeah. Then we have opposites attract. You're both very different, but we have love here. You care about each other deeply. So that's interesting. You guys are going to be drawn to this person maybe a bit unexpectedly. And I really think it's through conversation that spark ignites between you. Okay, we do have keep calm, meditate, try not to overreact. Okay. One more for this. And then we have worth the wait. Be patient and don't give up hope. Yeah, it's like, I just get this like really beautiful release toward the end of the month where it's like, you're leaving this situation behind, or you're going maybe a different way, or you're moving forward with or without this person. But it feels like there's still hope that like things can work out, right? And so I see you guys in a very calm, centered, empowered with this Emperor, empowered place, and saying like, there's optimism here. It may not be the right time right now for things to move forward any further, but maybe in the future it will. And I'm feeling abundant either way. There's also this undertone here of illusion. Things are not what they seem. So again, with this unawakened, I would just watch for that, you guys, because I think that there probably is something about the situation that you're not seeing completely clearly yet. Like maybe you just don't have the full picture just yet. And I think there's going to be a need to have like continuous conversation so that you can be watching out for any red flags or any issues. But I don't really see red flags and issues coming up. It just kind of feels like you're connecting with someone, maybe through travel. Things are progressing. You're getting to know each other. You're having a good time. And then toward the end of the month, it's like you're kind of moving forward, maybe going a separate way, but feeling empowered with your decision, right? And trusting with worth the wait, like trusting that things will work out if they're meant to in divine timing. So I feel like we're just going to close it out with one more card, group 2, for advice for you. So Spirit, what would you like group 2 to know? What guidance or advice do you have for group 2 as it pertains to their love life and how they're navigating this month? We have the Queen of Swords. So more swords energy coming through. Okay, that's really interesting. So Spirit is saying use your discernment. This says Venus. Okay, so this is like the goddess of love. I wonder if some of you guys have an air Venus, because we had all this air energy coming up with Cupid and all the things. And so that would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, so that could be why maybe through intellectual stimulation and conversation, you might find yourself kind of drawn to this person. But Spirit is saying with this Queen of Swords, be open, but be discerning, right? Watch for burying your head in the sand. Watch for Delulu energy. Hold your boundaries and be clear and direct in your communication, right? Queen of Swords is the Queen of Swords because she's been through a lot. She's been hurt in the past. She's learned her lessons. And so this energy is about being fair and non-judgmental, being fair, giving someone the chance, but at the same time, not suffering fools, right? So, and you guys have the 9 of Swords in reverse here at the bottom of the deck. So this is very much just saying, don't overthink it. Don't stress. You're in control. Like you're in power in the situation should you embody this energy of the Queen of Swords. I think it's also saying like, you know, if you are in air Venus, to lean into that, right? Because I think that that's going to help you guys to get the most out of this connection. It seems like that's what really pulls you guys in with this Prince of Arrows and the Cupid, right? So lean into communication as your love language. Lean into intellectual stimulation and discussion of topics or whatever it is as your love language, because I think that I feel like that's just going to help you to get the clarity that you need, but also to know whether or not this person is able to meet you there. That makes sense. So this is what I see for you, group 2. Comment below. Let me know what you guys have planned for the month of November. It looks very interesting. I'll see you in the next reading very soon. Bye. Hey, group 3, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Malachite crystal, this is going to be your message, and we're looking into what's next in love for you this upcoming month of November. So let's go ahead and jump into your overall energies. All right, so we start off with worth waiting for. Okay. We have very soon. We have put away the computer. And twin flame. Wow. Got some very powerful spiritual messages coming through for you, and really kind of in all these readings this month, which is very interesting. Okay. So group number 3, what are these overall energies saying for us? So I think that like a core theme of your month this month, group 3, is really going to be around leaning back, waiting it out, and not making any rash decisions. Okay. I feel like there's a situation here where maybe you're feeling a little unsure about what you want to do, what decision that you would like to make, because I see that here. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So there's a decision that you're making, and I think what Spirit is guiding us to is saying like, maybe this is a month where we lean back and really weigh the options. We are waiting instead of acting, Divine timing is at work in your love life. Okay. Now, for some of you with put away the computer, this says working less will help strengthen your relationship. So for some of you, I feel like there is maybe a connection to your career or work that's more significant this month, where maybe love life matters maybe aren't as important this month, or maybe there's somebody at work that you guys are connecting with or experiencing this twin flame energy with. Maybe that's where this romantic interest is at your work, right? But it feels like there is more of an emphasis this month, especially early in November, on the work that you do versus the connection. Okay. So maybe that's part of what you're pulling back your energy for as well. It's like, it's not the right time. I have other things that I need to focus on, but there's a realization here mid to late November that it's time to make a decision about what you want to do. And so with the twin flame energy, this is a really interesting energy because twin flames, in my experience, I know everybody has kind of a different take on this, but from what I've seen in all of my years of reading for myself and reading for my clients, is that twin flame energy acts as like a really intense mirror, right? Like this person will come into your life and they will show and reflect back to you very uncomfortable truths about yourself, and you'll do it for them. Right. And you can have more than one twin flame experience, in my experience as well. And so I think that this situation, this person, whoever this is probably acting as that twin flame mirror for you, right? Where they're reflecting something back to you around needing to be decisive or needing to heal something within yourself before you're going to be able to move forward. So let's keep going. I definitely feel with you guys selecting that Malachite, like no matter what, this person is certainly helping you to open up your heart or to become more aware of your heart. But let's see. What else, Spirit, can you tell us about the month of November in love for group number 3? Okay, hold on. All right, yeah, so we have the 8 of Pentacles. It's like work is significant early this month, as I was saying, but let's see. Five of Wands. Ace of Cups in reverse. And then we also have the Judgment energy here as well. Wow. All right. So yeah, I think as I was saying, I really feel like early in this month, your focus is on work. Your focus is on other matters that are maybe not connected to a connection or connected to love. Or again, you guys could be working with this twin flame counterpart that's showing up here. So early in the month, I feel like you guys are just kind of focusing on yourself, right? Like pulling back your energy, focusing on yourself, focusing on your work, refining your craft. Maybe coming to an understanding that maybe right now is just not the time for love, or maybe now is not the right time for reconnecting with whoever this person is, or investing a lot in whoever this person is. But I think that there is an acknowledgement with working less will help you strengthen your relationship. There may be an acknowledgement though that like there needs to be more balance, right? It's just that maybe now is not the right time for you to pull back from whatever this 8 of Coins is for you. We also have the 5 of Wands. So toward the middle of the month, I feel like there's going to be some conflict stirring up when it comes to this person. There could be a lot going on. There could be competing priorities. There could be arguments. There could be competition energy. There's multiple people here, right? So it would make sense if this is someone you work with or, you know, operate a business with, like a business partnership, or maybe you or this person have a lot of competing suitors or something like that. Either way, there's like this conflict that's being stirred up that's like pushing you to make some sort of decision. And I'm wondering if this is where that mirrored energy really shows up for you when it comes to this person. Something that I'm noticing is the woman that's here, she is not really in a fighter's stance. Like, she kind of has her shield up. She's holding on to this stave. She's got another stave here. The man is the one that's about to swing at her. And even this man is kind of holding back. So it's like there's some sort of dynamic here for some of you where, like, if you're someone who's connecting with the masculine, I feel like this masculine is someone who is coming in swinging, metaphorically. Or just in general, I feel like somebody is stirring the pot here in the middle of the month through their antics and their behavior. It's pushing you, my viewer, to make some sort of decision about how you genuinely want to move forward, because maybe this conflict that arises makes you feel really uncomfortable. I think especially if you've been in your Zen kind of leaning back energy and then this person comes in and starts stirring up chaos for you, I feel like you're not going to love that, especially with this Ace of Cups being reversed, right? I feel there's like this sense of, sure, there's opportunity, but there's something draining about this for you, for some of you. And with Judgment being here, right? Like, Judgment talks about accountability, second chances, doing a full evaluation of a situation to understand like whether or not it fits for the next chapter of our life. And I think that's very much tying into these overall energies that we're getting for you, group 3. Like, there just seems to be that you're in this reevaluation period as it pertains to love, as it pertains to whoever this twin flame connection is with. I feel like you're starting off the month with the best of intentions to just kind of lean back and work on yourself. But I feel like this person is going to like resurface mid-month and stir up some sort of conflict for you where you're not going to be able to avoid making a decision about how you move forward. Okay. So let's just get some clarity here, Spirit, for group 3. What else can you tell us about love for them this month of November? I just kind of wonder, I just keep getting pulled to this dynamic. Like, it just makes me wonder if you, my viewer, especially if you are a woman or you identify as a woman or are more of the feminine one in this connection, it just makes me feel like you're always having to be this stabilizer or something. And maybe you pulled back your energy because you got tired of that. You got tired of being in someone else's chaos all the time, you know? Let's see. So what else can you tell us, Spirit, for group 3? Signs. Yeah, it's like you guys are just sort of leaning back, trusting your intuition. It's almost like the 8 of Coins is saying you're investing your time, effort, and energy into the areas that feel the most spiritually connected for you or emotionally fulfilling, right? And I think with this 8 of Coins, you're working really hard. I feel my heart opening up as I'm talking about this. So for some of you, I do feel there's something significant in career for you in this month of November, especially at the beginning of the month as you kick it off. Like, you're working on something very hard, very diligently, that you are very spiritually connected to. You've trusted your gut and you're investing your time, effort, and energy into things that pour into you versus drain you, which I see happening at the end here. So let's see, what else, Spirit? We have manifesting and we have communication. Yeah. Just as I said, I think that this person is resurfacing. So this says communication, expect a text, expect a call, and a confession. And then we also have within a few weeks. So this is confirming it. I think this is going to come in for you guys like mid to late November from this person. And I just think it's going to stir up some discomfort for you. Whatever they say or whatever they want to talk about, there's debate, maybe a little banter, maybe a little back and forth. The 5 of Wands can also sometimes be like a flirty banter, bickering back and forth. So it may not be like you're literally fighting with each other. I feel like I'm guided to keep that there. But I think there's going to be something about this person coming back around that maybe you've manifested subconsciously. They come back in and I feel like it stirs up conflict for you via communication. Now, this fertility card flew out of the deck as well. And if you guys notice, it flew out right over top of this 8 of Coins. So the fertility card talks of blessings and pregnancy. With it coming up though with this Eight of Coins, to me, this feels more like something you've created, right? So think of like something you've created or built that you're working on at the beginning of the month. I feel like that is where you're the most likely to be wanting to channel your energy. Okay. So let's take a look at the last one. We have making plans, planning and moving forward. However, we have complicated. So it's like this person is coming back. There's some sort of communication, conversation that's stirring up stuff for you, group 3. And you are making a decision to make plans to move forward. But I do feel with this Ace of Cups in reverse that there's something about this person or this situation that feels a little draining for you. So I just want you to be mindful of that. I want you to watch for that because I think there is something about the situation that's a little complex. Maybe it's a little sticky. Maybe it's a little bit confusing for you. It feels like a puzzle that you have to solve in some regard. This really feels like someone you work with for a lot of you guys. Let's see. I'm going to close it out with these and then some advice for you, group 3. So what else can you tell us, please, Spirit, about love this month for group 3? We have worth the wait. Be patient and don't give up hope. Yeah, exactly. I think you're really very much starting off this month in Zen mode. I don't think, look, we have conflict, tension. There's tension with this person. So you're starting off the month just kind of like pulling back your energy and focusing on your creative endeavors and your work. Okay. And there maybe is still hope or optimism that this person will correct their behavior, that things will get better. Maybe you're subconsciously manifesting this, this re-engagement, this communication with them mid-month. We have forgiveness, forgiving for past mistakes. Very interesting. So maybe this person is coming back around and there's going to be an apology issued here, or you guys hash something out, which lets you both move forward, right? The energy of forgiveness is about like releasing the past and letting go so that we can both move forward in a positive direction. And so it does seem to be leading to some sort of plans being made, but I don't know, you guys. I just feel there's just something about it that feels a little off to me. One moment. I just dropped a card. The card that flew out here was family. So maybe for some of you guys, this has to do with a family member as well. Or family matters or group matters could be involved here. Okay, let's go to the last one. So we had third party, infidelity, poly, interference that came up here. It makes me wonder if that's, maybe this is why you guys pulled back your energy at the beginning of the month. Maybe there was infidelity here or distractions. Okay, so we have isolated, feeling sad and alone, and then we do have reconciliation, coming back together. But then we do also have the closed gate, not the right time, and misalignment. That's my vibe. It's like, I kind of wonder if you guys make the decision after whatever this is that you're hashing out, you are moving forward, right? There's definitely you coming back together with this person, reconciling with them, at least for forgiveness. There's like an embrace energy here that's showing up, where maybe you guys are hugging it out or cuddling, I don't know, to try to release some of this negativity. You're definitely talking about it for sure. But there's kind of this drained or blocked energy that I'm getting toward the end of the month, where like, yes, even though you guys came back together, you're trying to forgive and move past it, there's still kind of like a sadness or a loss or just sort of a blocked love energy here, though you're moving forward. And for some of you guys, I actually feel the point of this reconciliation is more so for you to forgive And I think a lot of you might actually move on without this person, right? Because you can tell that the two of you are just not aligned, like you're not really on the same page. We also have the cat lady here, which talks about being single. So it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of you guys made the decision to just be single and to move away from this person permanently once you come back together and hash out whatever this is. It's like there's definitely something there mirroring to you about the fact that you need to make a decision. And I just wonder when this Five of Wands energy resurfaces mid-month, if it just feels like so draining and exhausting and chaotic for you that you're like, no, like I'm just turned off by this. It's not the right time. We're not on the same page. And there may be a feeling of sadness or loss with walking away from this. But there's also a sense of empowerment where you're getting to make plans moving forward that feel resonant and aligned with you. So, very interesting month, group 3. I'm going to close it out with some advice for you from Spirit, and let's just see what Spirit wants you to know as you navigate your love life this month. We have the Hanged Man, sacrifice. Very interesting. So yeah, this kind of aligns with the overall energy of just kind of leaning back and being inactive, not taking action. This is challenging you to put something on pause, to hold off from making any choices and decisions until you have clarity. The Hanged Man is about seeing situations from a new and different perspective. And I think that's probably what's going to happen this month. As you guys continue to lean back in your energy and not put a lot of investment into this and start focusing on other endeavors here, I actually think that when this person resurfaces with this Five of Wands, you're seeing them in a totally new and different light because you're so calm and you're so balanced. And I feel like they're going to be very chaotic to you. And I feel like it's going to turn you off. Like I think with this Ace of Cups in reverse, there's this sense of like, I am not emotionally fulfilled with this. Maybe at one point I had hope or optimism for something to work out, but I'm seeing now that I may need to make plans to move forward on my own without this person. And I can still forgive them and move on, but I don't need to bring them with me, right? Even when I'm looking at this, look at this card, how it looks like the man is like walking away and she's pulling him back, right? It's almost like you guys aren't fully walking away just yet in the beginning of this month. Like there's still an attachment to this person, and I'm getting confirmation that this is yes. Like there's still an attachment to this person. It's not the time to make a full-on decision just yet, but I do think by the end of the month, once you've had your time to reflect, your perspective is going to be wildly shifted about them, and you will have enough evidence or insight to make a final decision moving forward about what you want to do. Okay. Whew, so really intense group 3. Comment below. Let me know what's been happening for you in your love life. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next reading very soon. Bye.